Of course, we all know what weather can do to our homes this time of year, and you really have to pay attention to the first line of defense, which is the roof. I have Josh Tessmer with me with Teague Roofing Plus. Josh, good to see you.
Good to see
Thanks
you.
for
Thank
coming
you.
by. Okay, I'm not kidding. Weather plays havoc on roofs over time.
Oh man, it does. Again, especially in this area, there are a lot of parts of the country that kind of have a smooth temperature.
Yes.
We don't. The fall and the spring, we're waking up some mornings where it's 10, 20 degrees out, and then it's 70, 80, 90 degrees in the afternoon. And what that does is that causes a lot of expansion and contraction. And we don't always think about that with shingles. We think about it with different products. But through that expansion and contraction, nails will actually work their way back out of a roof,
Right.
and we call those nail pops. I mean, it's just for a simple reason, and those will cause a lot of water damage.
Wait, it's just a little bitty hole, though, isn't it?
Oh, and that's exactly what everyone thinks. But by the time you see it on your ceiling, it's going to be a big brown spot,
Yes.
and you're going to think there's no way a nail's doing this because it's done all this damage. It's damaged tape, mud, everything.
Well, that's also over time. I
Yes.
mean, it may not cause something you can see from your ceiling right away.
Yeah, no, they say on average it takes about a year to a year and a half to work through all the insulation and everything else before you actually know you have a leak in your roof, or a nail pop style leak.
Okay, nail pops. Of course, we have storms. We have hailstorms in this area. That has to take a lot out of a roof.
Oh, it does. Hailstorms always do a lot of damage, and again, it's not always immediate damage that because if you've ever seen a tomato in the store where someone's dropped or something, you see all the bruises all over it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what hail is going to do to a roof. When we get up there, we're looking for spots that have a little bit of missing granule, and we can touch and we can feel that it's softer than everywhere else. Well, at first there's not a hole there, but a hole eventually comes, and that's where the leaking comes and all of that. So.
And just because a hole is there doesn't mean a leak is there. It could be way over here.
Yes, due to the underlayment that we put underneath, you could have a hole up here and it could not be leaking till down at the bottom. There could be all sorts of things, and and people always ask us. They say, "Well, I've looked at my roof; it looks fine." Unless you're getting up on a roof and actually walking the entire roof, you are not normally going to see that from the ground.
That's the plus. That's why we bring someone like you in,
Yes.
because we can look up and say, my roof looks beautiful, yet
Yep.
the underlying problems you don't even know what to look for. Yeah, one I guess schooling I got once was about ventilation when it comes to a roof. You need the proper and enough ventilation.
You do. Most people look and they say, well, I've got a gable vent or I've got some
Yeah.
roof vents. The problem with ventilation is when you really study ventilation, you've got to have an updraft and a downdraft. If you don't have one bringing the air in and the other letting the air come out, then you don't really have ventilation. So you want to make sure that you've got that. We also have the insulation up in the attics, and sometimes that'll get pushed over or around and it'll clog some holes, and then the downdraft is clogged and you're hurting yourself. You want to make sure you got plenty of ventilation and everything's inspected on that and make sure it's clear.
And when we're talking about things and you're trying to file an insurance claim, sometimes it can be too long.
Oh yeah, so most insurance claims have a period of time where you can claim from the storm date. And we actually have systems that will let us track the storm date and everything else. They do too, so they know when the last storm was, or they know if there's never been a storm in your area or whatever else. And so most of them give you, there's a few that'll give you 6 months. Most of them do about a year. There are a few that will do 2 years from the date of claim. But if you don't claim it in that time, they can say that, hey, this is too long, we're not responsible for it, this is on you this time, and then you're out paying for a roof as opposed to getting it done for insurance.
And you're not trying to talk about, oh my gosh, everything is doom and despair and destruction. It's just a good idea to keep an eye on this, because you just never know. And a foolproof way to do it is give you a call. It's free.
Yeah, we do a free inspection, and we're not there are a lot of roofing companies out there that come out and every house needs to be replaced, or every house is hail damaged, or whatever else. And then you get an insurance company out there or something else, and they're like, this roof's fine. We're not one of those companies. We do repairs, we do full roof replacements, we just do anything that you guys want us to do. And so if we get out there and we notice that there's not much damage, we'll get it taken care of. We'll send you pictures. just to let you know what's going on. We'll send you a full inspection, and then you won't have to worry about what's going on, and it may not be a full roof replacement.
Well, it has been good talking to you, and you know, you need to talk to him too. Teague Roofing Plus, what have you got to lose? You have everything to gain.